Welcome to Musicians versus the World, the podcast where we explore aspects of music and musician life that may not have been covered in music school. I am your host, Christine Smith, and today we are talking to artist Egee about her life as a performing musician and her journey into curating her cabaret rock persona and developing her sound, which she displays in her most recent song, La Mer. Hailing from Louisiana, Egee is bringing rock and roll cabaret to Austin, Texas. She is known for her stage presence and evocative songwriting, fusing jazz and blues influences with catchy pop hooks and rock instrumentation to create unforgettable melodies. Egee is fronted by Emily Grace Loe. On guitar is Nic Gwin. On bass is Arib Qureshi. On keys is Jagger McKinney. And on drums is Zach Russel. So Egee, thank you so much for being here and welcome to Musicians versus the World.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited to talk with you, and I hadn't told you this story when we were chatting, but I hear your music all the time because when I was researching for this interview, I was playing Disappointed But Not Surprised, which is a great song. My 17-year-old daughter walks by, and she walks in the room. She's like, "What is that?" And I tell her, and she's like, "Can you send me that song?" And now it's on her playlist. And so,
oh, no way.
Yeah. So I hear it all the time. It's a great song though.
Thank you. I'm glad she likes it too.
Yeah. It's fun. It's like, cause she's not the type of person that likes really overly sappy songs, but I know you said this was for kind of like the sensitive girl, but it's not a sappy, sensitive girl song. It's kind of like an empowering one.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's different ways to interpret sensitivity too. You can be sensitive to what happened and be mad about it,
right?
And not weepy, and which is cool too. Any reaction is obviously valid, but anyway, I'm really glad she likes it.
She does. So it's been fun. So it's been fun to really like listen to that and kind of just get into your musical head. So what music, I know for many musicians, has a role to play. Some use it as therapy, some use it as just straight income. It's a craft. What is music to you in your life?
I've been singing and writing songs ever since I could talk. My mom tells me. I think of it definitely as a way to process emotions, and especially when I was really little. And I didn't really know why I was singing or writing about my life all the time. And lately, as I've taken it more seriously and moved to Austin to pursue it, it's more of a language that's been really fun to communicate with other people through.
Yeah.
I think the bottom line for me, though, it's self-expression. It's my vehicle for that.
Yeah, that's great. So what was the point in your life where you decided, I want to take this further? I want this to be my life.
It was a lot of me resisting taking it seriously for a long time. Yeah. I think the most conscious decisions I made growing up were, I don't want to do it. Nope, the entertainment industry is heinous, and I don't want to have any part of it. And I decided I wanted to be a therapist, so I went to school for that. And then COVID happened when I was a junior in college, and I was alone with my thoughts and my musings, and it's like, okay, I got to do this. And I had a friend who was moving to Austin for grad school, and it seemed like a perfect little incubator to figure out the rest.
Yeah.
So I guess, junior year of college, COVID, definitely.
Yeah. COVID, I think, was a turning point for a lot of musicians, I think.
Yeah.
That's great. So now that you're in it, I know you were kind of like, show business, but now that you're in it, do you feel like those fears were founded or unfounded?
A little bit of both, for sure. I mean, I'm glad that I rose to the occasion. In the beginning, it was a lot of wrestling. Like, the more I saw the entertainment industry, and of course, early on, you're getting kind of bombarded with all the icky stuff, like feeling the need to have a personal brand, and kind of, for lack of a better word, like bastardizing this art form that I kept for myself for a long time. So for the first year I was in Austin, it was a lot of just journaling and inner turmoil. But once I kind of got past that, or worked through that, I guess, because you don't really get past it. You kind of just take the good with the bad. I'm surprised at my staying power, and I'm finding the good in it, which is kind of can be said of any industry, especially now that I'm older and I have friends who have substantial careers. There's good and bad in everything. So
that's true.
Yeah. And finding the good people in the industry, I think, is crucial.
Yeah. Where have you found the good people?
Austin. I mean, everyone's super friendly. I think it's like a great balance of opportunity. Like there's plenty of stages, so there's plenty of room. But it's not as cutthroat as some other areas that I've heard about. People are pretty willing to share information and resources and tips and tricks and stages. And it's a community for sure, which has been really, really lovely to be around. And I got a job working at a recording studio a couple years ago. So I've got to meet not only people in my cohort, but people in kind of all realms of music in Austin, like classical, jazz, people who are in their 60s, 70s, who have been doing music in the city for decades. So yeah, I think I found a really warm community here in Austin, which I feel really lucky to be a part of.
Yeah, that's really important to do that. Yeah. So you've met all these people from all these different genres. What do you think is a surprising thing you've learned from just collaborating with all of these people?
I don't know. I mean, it's all good information.
Right.
There's a million ways to write a song. There's a million ways to get it done. I think the coolest thing, speaking back to music being a language, is especially when you're creating a song, there's an unfinished song like floating around, a finished song rather, floating around in the zeitgeist, and you really just have to listen and pay attention. The song will tell you what it calls for. It's pretty magical being in like a rehearsal or a kind of producing situation, and everyone kind of has a similar idea of what the direction goes. So it's been really fun to kind of witness that mystical process in all those different genres with all these different kinds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. So, you were talking about this finished song just kind of floating out there. What is your creative process?
I I do my best when I can be in solitude,
Really? Okay.
and lock in and kind of express whatever comes out.
Okay.
I say usually with guitar or sometimes with no instruments. I think my voice is my best instrument. I'm not a classically trained pianist. That'd be cool if I was. But I do the best when I can be very much alone, and
Gotcha.
no one. I like even when my roommates are home. They're also musicians, but I like when no one can hear me, and I know no one can hear me. I'll go to the studio when it's empty, and I'll go sit in a room, and that's when I do my best writing. And it usually happens. The melody and the lyrics happen at the same time. I know some people will like sing like like kind of nonsense and then
Uh-huh.
do words, and some people will write a poem and then set that to music. Mine kind of happens simultaneously when it's happening.
Right.
You write a lot of bad songs, but when I know it's like a real good song, it'll happen at the same time. And then I'll take that melody, the top line, so to speak. Basically, I'll take what I want to sing to the band,
Okay.
and they'll help me either make the chords more interesting because I'm kind of limited on my guitar abilities. So I'll be like, jazz this up for me, or let's stick to what I wrote, and we'll kind of noodle around. And I like to say in my band, everyone's in charge of their own instrument. So I'm the singer, so I'm writing the lyrics, and I'm picking what I sing and how I sing them and how fast I sing them, and everything else is kind of up for interpretation.
Gotcha.
And so I think that lets everyone be creative and innovative, and everyone who has I want people who have command over their instrument to write their parts. That just makes sense to me. You want the best people for the job.
Yeah.
Uh, but then we work it out from there. It usually takes like one rehearsal to get the general song finished, and then a couple more times of practice to really lock it in.
Gotcha.
But that's been the process with the band.
Wow. So when you're writing, do you have like an arrangement of what you think it could possibly be with the entire band? Or is it you're like, let's just see what happens?
Sometimes, I mean, there was with my song La Mer, which is
Mm-hmm.
the most recent one, I knew I wanted those like hits in the chorus, like bump bump baby, bump it's
Uh-huh.
wavy. I was like singing in the car. I actually wrote that one without an instrument, but I was singing in the car and I was like hitting the steering wheel both times. And I recorded that. And so I brought that to my guitar player. And he was like, "This is really cool. What if it was like a bossa nova, like
Uh-huh.
kind of thing?" And I was like, "That is really cool. I don't think that's the song." And so sometimes I have to be like, no, I think it's something like this. And sometimes they
Yeah.
have a really good idea and it changes my expectation. So
Right. But that one has a
it totally
very,
depends on the song.
yeah, that one, I like that one. That has a lot of twists and turns to it because it starts out, has very much kind of like this French sort of James Bond sort of, jazzy
Totally.
sound to it. And then goes into this whole, I mean, I am very old school. So it reminds me a little bit of like old No Doubt or,
Yeah,
Joan Jett sort of thing. So
totally.
yeah, like where did that, I would never think to put those two genres together. How did that work out?
I I don't know. I mean, I think I knew that I had permission to do something like that, because of "Happier Than Ever" by Billie Eilish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for that song, but it starts really slow and then it
Yeah.
gets really big and, like,
Yeah.
crunchy in the chorus. And of course, I love Joan Jett and super inspired by, No Doubt's, like, attitude.
Yeah.
Um, so I knew that that's kind of the rock and roll of the Cabaret.
Right. Right.
Um, but this was the first song that really cemented the what I'm calling rock and roll cabaret because it has those
Oh,
2 elements. And I think it came together because it's La Mer, it's the sea in French, so it's very much like the verses are the beach and the chorus is the sea, kind of
gotcha.
the
Okay.
violence. So it is kind of the push and pull of having a crush and being at the beginning stages of a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how did you? Yeah. Go ahead.
I remember telling the guys, like, it could be different. Like, there
Mm-hmm.
the verse and the chorus can be not sound like the same song. I'm cool with that. They're like,
Yeah.
"Okay." Uh, and it kinda jumped on board, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah. How did you describe that to them? Like the sound you were going for?
Oh, it's so funny. I like, they're kind of math and science musicians,
Okay.
and I'm, like, an English language arts musician. So I'm like, so the verse is like, yeah, French cabaret, you're sipping a cappuccino, you're flirting with your eyes, you're smizing. And then the chorus is like ah whoopah, like waves hitting the rocks. And they're looking at me like I have 3 heads. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, put a distortion on the bass in the chorus and crank up the gain. You know what I mean?
They're
Like
like,
so then I
okay, we
have
can.
to
Yeah, we can go with that. Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of, I'm really lucky to have people who, help me translate kind of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a conversation. But once we get to playing the music, I think it becomes pretty clear for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And you have to have both kind of brains in the room,
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
I think that's really important because we
Yeah.
don't make, at least I don't make math rock. So I'm not making music to like do the most complicated thing possible. But I like that my band has the capability to do like technically interesting
Right.
things.
Yeah.
But then they also need me to be like, let's paint a picture, you know?
Mm-hmm. Let's tell the
So
story.
yeah,
Yeah, because you need to have an emotional connection. And that math stuff does help make it more interesting for sure.
yeah,
And when they come together, it's better than either one of them can do on their own.
totally, totally.
Yeah. So let's talk about this rock and roll cabaret thing. This is
Let's.
this is new to me. So please just start from the beginning, explain all of it.
This was another one where I told the band, I was like, guys, I think I got it.
Okay.
And they're like, okay. Um, like I said, when I first moved here and started making music, I was writing all kinds of things, like pop songs and folk songs. And as soon as I got to Austin, more country stuff,
Mm-hmm.
obviously,
Of course.
jazzy, blues, like all kinds of things. And I had a lot of people in my ear telling me about personal branding and marketing, and that all felt really icky to me. But then once I got the band together, I realized I grew up doing theater, and I have did a lot of performance art in college. So I like putting together, or I take pride in when the team, whoever that may be, is able to put together a really cohesive, folded in show. I remember like when I first moved here, I kept telling people, like, I just want to put on a good show. So I want to sell more tickets and get better gigs so I can put on a better show with better sound and costume and lights and camera action, razzle dazzle. So I kind of arrived at this rock and roll cabaret thing because people kept telling me, you're a good performer. You're theatrical. Which I agree, but sometimes you need someone telling you, hey, I see you doing this, to make it real in your head.
Of course. Yeah.
And then I love the jazz and blues scene here in Austin, but I still have a little bit of angst left over, so I couldn't get rid of the electric guitar quite yet.
Oh, gotcha.
And like wanting to make like raucous music. So I wanted to keep the rock, because the first year of my band, it was very much just we make rock music. But there was a gig in October, I guess. Yeah, last fall basically, where I was like, I gotta pause. Everyone pause. I started saying no to gigs, and I really like got to journaling, and went on Pinterest and just kind of letting it incubate. And then I arrived at this rock and roll cabaret thing because I think obviously rock and roll is the thing I have the most fun performing on stage. And then cabaret brings in the jazz, the blues, and the theatricality. So it's not I made it up. But what I've been telling people lately is they're like, oh, because everyone asks, so what kind of music do you and your band make? Even just like in interpersonal, like friendly party conversations,
they just
let
wonder.
alone professional sell yourself to me conversations. And I'm like, rock and roll cabaret. Chew on it for a minute. and that usually people are like, okay. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of centered, and it came together because I had to ask myself, what do I want to? I can continue to write all sorts of music. No one's going to stop me from writing a pop song in my room and sending it to some friends. But who do I want to show up as on stage? And what do I want to perform? And what do I want to share to audiences? And it is maintaining that theatricality and then that rock and roll spirit.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And now you were talking about your persona that you're on stage. Is that just all part of the show, or do you feel like that makes you more comfortable performing if you have like a character that you're showing?
Totally, yeah. And you're actually the first person to say, oh, it probably makes you more comfortable to have a character. Like that's entirely it. Especially, I grew up doing theater, so I'm very used to. That was kind of my mom, really, both my parents' first instinct when I was compulsively singing and being dramatic as a child. They're like, musical theater. And so
we know where to put this kid.
Yeah. There's another girl in preschool who had the same affliction. We both got put in musical theater in like kindergarten, which was awesome. And I loved it. I always knew I wanted to sing my own words and tell my own story. So I think this is kind of the evolution of that. But I'm very used to being in a costume on stage, and also and that kind of helps unlock like a larger than life performance. And then the other side is that I felt like I didn't need to be myself on stage. I wanted to be something else. For a long time, or not for a long time, for like a year, I was just me in my like elevated street clothes on stage, and I was like, this is cool. But I think to tell a story more, I need to become someone else and kind of suspend disbelief for a second. And so the character thing really helped. And truly the the first step was I was like, okay, so I wanna be someone else. So I went to the wig store and I sat down and I tried on 7 wigs. And at first I thought I was gonna go with like a short black bob,
well,
kind of like
cabaret.
a la.
Like that's what you think of in cabaret.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, that'll probably be it. And I've tried one of those before, like at a party, and I was like, oh, I gotta think it look good.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, and I was like, oh, yeah, I like it. It's good. It's good. I also kind of have a small head though, so it didn't really help with proportions. And then I saw this diva in the corner of the store, and I was like talking to the lady who was super helpful. And I was like, who is she? And she's like, that's my favorite. I was like, bring it here. And I think it's great. It's so different from what I look like, which really helps. And I think because I don't necessarily want to do cabaret, nor do I necessarily want to do Marilyn Monroe drag. So I think it kind of helps blend those two together to create something that's unique and not like a direct copy of either of those things.
Yeah.
It's a little bit old Hollywood, but it still kind of has that like lounge singer razzle dazzle. And I try to accessorize.
Yeah. So when you put on the wig, did you feel like there was a new persona coming out or a new character coming out?
Yeah, I think it helps me express that like fraction of myself that this is.
Gotcha.
And then it really came together when I put on these crazy eyelashes.
Yeah, that
great. Was kind of Thank you. That was kind of because that puts together the rock element to me, that kind of like spooky almost thing, or like shocking maybe is the right word. It subverts the kind of demure femininity that the big blonde curls do.
There you go.
And so I think that balance, I was like, yeah, that's it. And now it's nice because every time I need to do something music related, I like put on my stamp. Put the hair on, eyelashes, a red lip, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Whereas before I felt like I couldn't put enough black eyeshadow and glitter on to like make me feel like I had the suit of armor ready to take on whatever that was.
Gotcha. I like that you say suit of armor, because then when you're finished, it's kind of like you take it off and you can just be yourself again.
Totally.
It's like flipping a switch. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a separation of church and state is also what I keep saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it also allows me, like I made my personal Instagram, my music Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently I've made a private Instagram for myself. So now I have like my music life, and I air quotes for people who aren't watching, and then my personal life, which is also rich and vibrant and like worth capturing. So
yeah,
it's been good for my mental, and it has led to better performances. I really think so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and that actually answers my question, because I was going to ask, as a professional musician, how do you maintain that balance? And it seems like you're answering that, like having, here's my music life, here's my personal life. They influence each other, but they are not overtaking each other. Right?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
And a lot of people I've heard and have met like live in that character, live in their persona 24/7. And I think that works for a lot of people. I just knew that wasn't going to be me, but I didn't want to do, I tried to do the kind of like, I'm showing up as myself on stage. This is me.
Yeah.
Myself and I bearing my soul. And that was really nice when I was just doing like me and acoustic guitar. That made sense. But it didn't make sense for me when I was trying to do the rock drama thing.
Right.
So I needed to create these two things. I mean, it's always a balance, and I'm still figuring it out. And I'm just kind of seeing what I like and what I resonate with as I go.
Yeah.
And this has only been like 6 months into this whole kind of iteration of things. But it feels right, and I'm happy with it. It's hard to explain to people who it's hard to explain to, so that's the only hurdle.
Yeah.
But it's working, so I'm glad I did it.
So now that you've curated this whole persona and this rock cabaret, has that influenced the music you're writing now?
Yeah. So
really,
another thing too is in that show last fall, I moved to Austin, and I just said yes to every gig, me and guitar. And I'm not that good at guitar, but I said yes to every gig with me and guitar,
right,
to attract the right people to make a band.
Okay.
Because I wanted people to volunteer selfishly or something.
That's yeah. It makes you feel good if they're like, "Hey, you're awesome. Can we make a band together?" Like,
right.
It just feels good. Yeah.
Well, and then I mean, I grew up doing psychology. Then they have internal motivation, and then they're doing it because they want to do it, not because I'm asking for a favor. Anyway, so found the band. And as soon as I got a band, I was like,
wait, hold
let's
on.
go.
Did they come up to you and talk to you about it? Was
They
it them
did,
coming to you?
yeah.
Oh, good.
So I found my bassist came first. Arib was actually a friend of a friend. And he came to one of my solo gigs and he was like, let's jam. But I couldn't do just vocal and bass, electric bass. I mean, I guess I could have, but it would have been kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then I had my first guitar player who's named Nathaniel, who is not playing with me anymore because he went to Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
But he found me through the internet and then also hooked me up with a drummer. And then the keys player came because we jammed and he was in my friend's band. And I was like, split custody. And then we did. But yeah, everyone likes the music. So they tell me. And
they wouldn't be
I
with
think
you if they didn't like the music. So
fun in the group. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, totally. So I'm really lucky there. What was it? What question were you answering?
So I was asking, so now that, it's 6 months in, how have you noticed your music has changed since developing? Yes.
I think once I locked in on, okay, I want to show up as this on stage, then the set I was doing was very much so the first 10 songs that I could put together with a band. So it was kind of a mixed bag of a little bit of pop, a little bit of rock, a little bluesy stuff, which is cool. I mean, it's good to have variety. But it was that show last fall where I was like, all right, we got to figure this out. And so I scrapped every song that didn't make sense for Rock and Roll Cabaret, and I picked songs that kind of told what I think is a narrative. And so it has like the ebbs and flows of a relationship. I read a lot about relationships. And then I wrote a couple new songs to kind of fill in the gaps of the set.
Okay.
Once I picked the ones that didn't make sense out, which was really fun too. So I wrote a waltz. I wrote kind of another song like Disappointment, Not Surprised, because I felt like that was really the meat of what I wanted to do. And so we had half of the old set and then half of the new set with the guys. And so then we spent all winter learning new songs and kind of getting those up to par. And then we've been performing them this spring. So it's been nice to have direction.
Yes.
I mean, that was kind of what I was struggling with when I first moved to Austin. I was like, I love music and I love performing, but I don't have a brand because I don't have a direction. I don't know yet. And for anyone's listening and they don't have a direction yet, just keep throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, because something will. And then find out how you want to show up on stage and let that inform the set list. Once again, you can write whatever you want. But yeah, so it was nice to have I said before, direction to go in. I like having an assignment.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like I think it's harder to write something without limits, but if you have some sort of parameters, then it just kind of helps you focus a little bit better, I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think the limitations help inform or make you more creative too, because you have to problem solve a little bit.
Yeah. So a question I have for you is, do you think that this persona is going to be like for this, this set or this album or whatever, and then maybe you'll try a different persona for like the next album? Or do you feel like this is going to be your thing for the long term?
I think this persona is going to stay. I think the temperature might change. So right now the set is very like, or the story I'm telling over the course of the set is, how do I explain without just singing? Like I was in a bad relationship and I'm mad about it, and things didn't go well, and I reconciled that, and then the end of the set I'm like, you know what, it's all right, life goes on, and I'm still flirty and fun, and
yeah, you're ending on a good note. Yeah
ending on like a, oh well, life goes on, everything's gonna be just fine kind of note. And I could see myself, I mean, it's gonna depend on how my personal life goes too. I could see this evolving into like a straight jazz thing. I could see it evolving into straight blues. I could see it things go really well, like a folk pop thing, I don't know. But it's just gonna depend on how Emily's doing
Gotcha.
And then we'll see how Egee responds, kind of thing.
Oh,
But
that's so fun.
I think I've built a foundation of this can grow
Yeah.
either direction.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really, really fun. So you've been performing it. How has it been going? Has it been, I'm sure it's been fun for you, but has it been like received pretty well by people?
I think so. I mean, I think it's been a lot of friends who've seen me so far. Obviously, that's how it starts.
Of course.
And then, peers in the community. And there are some points in the set where I can feel them being like, this is not what I thought was going to happen when I came tonight. Like, it's a little bit more theatricality than the usual, like, local band gig.
Yeah.
I think people, when they go to a concert, they expect a certain kind of thing to be on stage. And then when I hit them with, like, a little bit of a small monologue in between songs, I think they're like, okay.
Okay, to be fair, a lot of the greats have some sort of monologue in between their songs. So yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not reinventing the wheel. Like wearing a costume on stage, wearing a wig on stage, Sabrina Carpenter does it. I mean, like having some sort of, aesthetic performance is not new, but it's not something that you get at a divey venue at 10 in Austin, So I think some people, I can feel the audience. Well, I can see the question mark over their head sometimes. But then I get them back. I get them back, which is really fun. And I have to. It's one of those things. My friend Mia had a really good line the other day. She was talking about, and bear with me, she was talking about how she can't get tan. She just burns. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sucks, whatever. She's like, yeah, well, that's just part of being Mia. I'm like, so true. So, like, when I'm going through these things and I'm seeing the question mark over people's head and I'm hitting people with something new, quote unquote, or something that they weren't expecting, that's just part of being me is I'm gonna, show up like this and do my thing. And so it's been fun. I think has been well received. And I think that the more I can boil down and share my authenticity, the more people who like it will show up.
Yes.
So the
and
name of the
like
game
you.
is
Right. And they'll like you because of that difference.
Totally.
It's like something, it's like your thing that like sets you apart from, just like you said, every other band that's going to be playing there.
Yeah. And so I got to build it so they will come, kind of thing. Yeah. And you might lose some people along the way, and that's cool too. It's just all part of it. And at the end of the day, I'm just happy that I've figured out what I want to do. Yeah. So that's been really gratifying.
That's fantastic. Congratulations. What's next for you then? I mean, excuse me. So you have this show you're putting on. Are you going to put out an album, or what's next for you?
Yeah. It's hot in Texas in the summer, and I did a lot of shows last summer because I was just kind of getting the band together, and so I said yes to everything. I'm going to try not to play outside in 100-degree weather.
That's very smart.
Thank you. And the band is really grateful.
I would think so.
And the band's girlfriends are really grateful. But I think this summer is going to be recording, which I'm really excited about. And I don't know. It's going to depend on what we can get to, whether it's going to be an EP or an album. I'm lucky to have some resources to be able to record through the studio I work at. And then my guitar player works also at a place where we're capable of recording. So we're going to get some music out there. Some of the songs from the set, which I think eventually the set is the album. But probably some singles first. And yeah, we'll see what we can get to. And then getting back to playing more shows in the fall.
Yeah, when it cools down a little bit.
Yeah.
When you're not completely melting.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
But trying to get some more stuff out for people to see and share and enjoy.
Well, that's great. Well, when that comes out, I'm sure I will hear it in my house because you've got a fan here in Atlanta. That's for sure.
Sweet.
But as we wrap up, what advice do you have for aspiring musicians?
I think I've said this before. If for a long time, since I didn't play an instrument and I didn't go to music school, I thought I wasn't allowed to be a musician. If you make music, you are a musician. Here you go. The title is yours. Da, 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 da. I think imposter syndrome, everyone has it. Everyone has like an inner saboteur, as RuPaul calls it. You gotta be yourself. You gotta be yourself. So you can't be afraid of like looking in the mirror and showing up as yourself. It's the only way to be happy, and it's the only way to not be upset all the time.
Right.
So if you feel the urge to do something, there's a reason for it. Just go for it. And there's going to be a lot of you're going to mess up a lot, and it's going to feel embarrassing, and you're going to feel dumb. I think I'm starting the artist way right now, and they talk about this period when you're kind of rediscovering your creativity where it's really clunky, and you're just like when I first started music, it was giving myself haircuts and doing, like freaked my roommate out all the time because all the like creative projects I was doing. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get messy before it gets clean. Like I'm showing up here today 4 years into living in Austin. So and I've been taking my time and letting it happen, not letting anyone rush me before I was ready. So yeah, give it time and let yourself make mistakes. And no, mistakes are kind of the best you can ask for because then you know how to get better.
Right.
But yeah, you're a little baby bird when you're not, you're a little baby horse. You're going to fall before you learn how to run. I don't know. There's so many metaphors.
Right.
But
that's
stick with it.
The English storytelling coming out of you now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's fantastic. That's great. That's really great advice. Just having that bravery, making mistakes, taking your time to really figure out who you are and what you want to do. It's just, those are all.
And if I may, something that really liberated me. No one cares. I mean, that sounds harsh at first, but no one's like going to bed at night being like, oh, that weird thing that she did, no one, it's a flash in the pan for everyone else. So don't feel like people are holding on to that. Right. They're not. And then when you succeed, the people who love you and care about you and are genuine people will be glad to see you succeed. And when you fail, people will be like, better luck next time. I don't know. Don't get in your head about what other people think about how this looks. Yeah. No one cares that much, They're worried about lunch and, what they're going to wear to the thing on Friday. I don't know.
It's great. That's like, just realizing that you that you're only the main character in your own story and people really just aren't thinking about you that much. Like, it's very liberating, and it really helps you to enjoy life a little bit more.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Let's end on that happy note. Egee, this has been so much fun talking to you. Like I said, we're big fans of your music in this house, and I wish you all the best, and please keep in touch and let me know how things are going for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been so nice to talk to you.